Alright, good morning. It is about 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday, June 29th, 2017. And welcome, everybody. I hope you guys have been having a good week. Today is my one day off. And so I decided to come over here and take a look at some earthquakes, record my thoughts in the screen capture, and upload it to YouTube for you guys to take a look at. These are the last 24 hours worth of earthquakes as recorded by the USGS. And I encourage you to go to the USGS and do your own research. However, I'm just going to, again, talk about a few things here while I have time to do it. I'm sitting outside on my porch in beautiful Orlando, Florida. It's a very pretty day outside. We do expect rain, as it is Florida, and it rains here pretty much every single day at some point. So while it's nice out and it's quiet out in the morning, I decided to make a little video. So yesterday I had reported over on my Earthquake Watcher channel on Facebook. I screen captured this 6.0 down here because the day before this whole area was silent. There were virtually no earthquakes here, and I had suggested that this was a sign that incoming pressure was coming. So it's happened yesterday. There was a 6.0. There was a near 6.0 at Kamchatka, Russia, up here. But then about 3 o'clock this morning, well, I guess 5-6 hours ago, there's a new 6.0 in the same area. However, this one is at 400 kilometers approximately. If you're not watching this in full screen, I suggest that you switch to full screen so you can see the details of the information here on the USGS. So this 6.0 that happened this morning, 3 o'clock this morning, is also a 6.0, but at a depth of 392 kilometers. That puts the origination of this earthquake down below the plate in the area known as the asthenosphere. If you've seen some of my other videos before, you know that large deep earthquakes produce large shallow earthquakes, and that seismic pressure from these large deep earthquakes pushes up to the surface and then transfers along these plate boundaries, which are the red lines. This is your Pacific plate right here, also known as the Ring of Fire because of all the volcanoes up in this area. But moreover, this earthquake will produce larger, shallower earthquake up here at the surface where people can feel it. And already, right as I was getting set up to do this video, we have a 5.4 shallow earthquake in Papua New Guinea. This is the area that I'm expecting large, shallow earthquakes to happen as a result of these deep earthquake right here in New Zealand. I also expect that pressure will push down here to the south, hopefully passing New Zealand and winding its way up out here. If a large earthquake, a 6 to 7, maybe even an 8 earthquake happens right here in New Zealand, it could be catastrophic. You'll remember the Christchurch earthquake several years ago caused a lot of damage and death here in New Zealand. So this earthquake is going to push up to the surface and is already beginning to transfer pressure. This happened just a few minutes ago right here in Papua New Guinea. So this is the area in between here and these other earthquakes in the Philippines. This area right here in Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands, Fiji, Tonga region, over here in western Indonesia up into Myanmar and Burma, possibly Taiwan, Japan up in this region, and Kamchatka, Russia. Bogoslav volcano right here is erupting currently, and there's several volcanoes erupting all along in this region. So seismic pressure is definitely coming up from underneath the Earth's crust in the asthenosphere and transferring, starting a new round of earthquakes all around this region here, pushing up into here into northern India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. It'll push over towards Turkey and Greece and Italy and Romania, and then it'll finally work its way out here to the mid-Atlantic ridge. Incidentally, while I'm looking at it, there's a 3.3 over here in Moreland, Oklahoma. I'm going to take the coordinates from that. I'm going to copy them. I'm going to go over here to Google Earth, which you can do all of this your own. You can do your own research. Drop the coordinates. Go take a look at that particular earthquake over here in Oklahoma, because I am firmly convinced that fracking, oil, gas extraction, wastewater pumping operation, hydraulic fracturing is causing earthquakes. So here's the epicenter of our 3.3 earthquake earlier today, just in Oklahoma, and not even just a few hundred feet from the earthquake. Right here is a hydraulic pumping up, or excuse me, oil pumping operation. Generally though, I look for 6 to 8, possibly 10 miles from the epicenter for fracking operations, and as you can clearly see, you don't even have to go that far from this particular earthquake. So we'll go 6 miles out. This puts us right about in here. 6 miles is right in this region here, and you can see plenty of fracking operations going on over here, oil pumping. We'll go in, we'll take a look at them, zoom down in just so you can see that these are not houses, these are not farms, these are not homes. We'll just pick one randomly because I'm doing this live as I'm recording. I have not looked at this already. I'll zoom down in on that, and the sun just happens to be hitting just right in this GPS imagery. You can see the oil pump right there. So your storage tank's right here, and your pump in the center of this squarish pad. That is the signature for oil fracking, gas extraction operations going on in the Midwest. And so whenever we find these earthquakes in the Midwest, almost 100% of the time, if you zoom down in on the epicenter of the earthquake and look 6 to 10 miles out, you'll see pumping operations. So the connection, I believe, is because they're drilling thousands of feet down into the earth in an area known as the New Madrid seismic zone. We'll zoom out and I'll point that out to you. New Madrid seismic zone is the interior of the North American plate, right in this region in here. Right up in here is the New Madrid. Runs along up into here. So as pressure comes in from the west, it pushes to the east and out to the mid-Atlantic ridge. But because they're doing all of these drilling out here, they've created a weak spot in the earth, and the seismic pressure coming from the west makes a pit stop right here, causing these earthquakes. Now 3.3 is not a great big deal. It's not a big deal, and doesn't probably cause any damage. But if a larger earthquake out here happens, and a 4 or a 5 or even a 6 happens here, it could potentially be catastrophic in that the infrastructure is not built for seismic events of that size. So I'm going to keep on looking at this. I'm going to keep on harping that fracking causes earthquake, and maybe someday people will pay attention to that. I'm not the only one talking about it. I was first made aware of this phenomenon by a guy named Dutch Since. If you haven't checked him out, I suggest you go to his YouTube channel. That's Dutch Since, D-U-T-C-H-S-I-N-S-E. This guy's a great scientist. He's doing a lot of work. He's been constantly under attack by the powers that be, trying to keep him from forecasting earthquakes. So if you haven't checked out Dutch Since, I just wanted to give him a shout out and ask that you would check out some of his videos. He does live streams every single day, and every single day he forecasts earthquakes with pinpoint accuracy like nobody else. I learned everything pretty much that I know about this from him, and so as I work my new job and I'm not able to do videos, I've been trying to send people to Dutch Since's page. So if you could check out Dutch Since, and maybe even tell him that Mark Mucci sent you over there. So here's our large deep earthquake for the day. This is going to set off a new round of seismic activity all around the plate boundaries, across the fracture zones that run along the plates. Some of this pressure will go to the south, to the west, and it'll go all the way across the plate into this region right in here. The areas that generally get hit with seismic pressure from these large deep earthquakes are the silent areas in between the volcanoes and earthquakes. So you have a lot of volcanoes going off all up in here, lots of volcanoes activity here, but in between the volcanoes and the earthquake is where the next earthquakes will occur. So we're looking at Fiji, Tonga, we're looking at Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, Western Indonesia, the Philippines, Taiwan, either side of the North or South Islands of Japan, up here into Kamchatka, Russia, and the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. These are the areas that we want to watch for larger, shallower earthquakes produced from this large, deep earthquake right here today. If you haven't already, I would ask you to please subscribe to my channel. My channel on YouTube is not monetized. I don't make any money. I don't generally have any kind of advertising that I know of on my videos. So I hope you'll share these videos. I like to keep them real short. I know people don't have a lot of time, but I would appreciate if you like the video or give it a thumbs up. You can find me over here on Twitter, or you can find me on Facebook at my Earthquake Watcher page, and you can message me there as well. So hope everybody's having a great day. I don't know that I'll be able to make another video this week. Today's my only day off, as I said, so I appreciate your time in watching this video, and please feel free to contact me here on Earthquake Watcher on Facebook if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Share this video, give it a thumbs up, and have a great week. Ciao.